Hey YouTube, this is a quick video to share some of my thoughts and opinions about the Cambridge Edge A integrated amplifier. So summary here in the beginning is that this is a really well engineered and built device, actually amazingly built device. Um, Build quality on it's off the charts, tons of power on tap, heavy as all get out, and it's a really well built device. I cannot say anything negative about build quality. Amazing. Also offers an interesting feature set. One of the things that was really appealing to me about this device is the HDMI ARC input. Believe it or not, I actually purchased this to use in our master bedroom. We have a large dresser in there. I've removed one of the drawers, and now because of that, can fit pretty large integrated amplifiers in there. So I purchased this to go in there, use the ARC input with our older Sony OLED TV, and generally speaking, worked well for that purpose. But what I found is, definitely enabled us to elevate our game a little bit for music. But in that particular room, I only listen to music maybe less than 10% of the time. All the rest of the time is spent on movies and TV. And for that particular purpose, I was finding that this was drawing a little bit more attention to itself than I would like for that purpose. Again, for music, no problem. But for movies and TV, was just a little bit. It's not bad. And I'm sure, for certain speaker pairings, oh, I should probably mention that. KF 50s is what I use in that particular room with a pair of what are they? Some old Infinity 8-inch subs, and yeah. So for other speaker pairings, you may not have that issue. For me, it was just drawing ever so much, a little bit more attention to itself than I would have liked, or than I like. So ended up taking it out. I should also probably mention that this thing does put out a fair bit of heat. Um, But, for me, I'm not overly concerned about the heat output in that particular room because we don't, we only use it maybe an hour a day at most. Works really well. Sounds really good, but I would say it's a little bit boring is the word I would say in terms of the sound. And I think Cambridge could have addressed that boring issue for me as one individual consumer by offering tone controls. Now, admittedly, I don't know where they could put tone controls on this beautiful fascia without messing up the face, but just in terms of me being able to tune the sound to my liking, tone controls could have solved that for me. And so I brought this Denon PMA A110 in, which I've had for several years now, as a, to kind of contrast and compare. This one, a little bit boring sounding. This one leans warm. It has character to it. And especially with KEF LS50s, fantastic pairing. Also with my KEF R700s, fantastic pairing. But with my KEF Reference 3s, it's a little too much smooth. That then becomes boring as well because it's too much warmth. Another comparison I would make is I also have a Luxman L509Z. Not that one. That's just a Luxman amp. But I also have a Luxman L509Z. That also I would characterize as being a very neutral amp. But with the Luxman, it's the level of purity that amp brings is several steps above what the Cambridge does. And I think that might be what Cambridge's goal was here with not offering tone controls, is they're probably designing with purity in mind, which is admirable. I mean, I appreciate that. But I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily call this the word that I think of when I think of this amp is boring. I don't think of purity. Whereas when I think of my Luxman L509Z, I think of neutral and pure. So I hope that makes sense to somebody out there, and I hope the comparisons make sense. Again, I don't want to discourage anybody from purchasing this if this is appealing to you, and especially if you can get it on one of these B stock or refurbished deals. I think it's a fantastic value if you can get it at the right price. But for me, it just doesn't scratch the itch. So unfortunately, I'm going to be sending it back to Cambridge. That I think is all I wanted to share. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave in the comments section and I will try to answer. Thank you.